Therpe, you have to go back.
About 30 years. That sound good to you? Okay.
The legendary Mr. Thorpe. Round of applause, everybody. So, first of all, I usually have someone interviewing me, and now I have the pleasure of interviewing the legendary Mr. Thorpe. Round of applause, everybody. Man, it's a pleasure. Oh my God. I don't even want to say interviewing, we're just hanging out. We've already been talking and just been going over some things about his life, his father's life, their legacy. And the whole point behind this is the fundraiser.
That is correct.
Because Mr. Thorpe is trying to raise funds for an indoor facility, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
We actually call Form Swim Aquatic Health and Wellness Center.
Oh, wow.
So certainly in terms of rehabilitative things, oftentimes people experience aquatic therapy.
Right.
So if it's good enough to rehabilitate you,
right,
how good must it be to maintain on
wow,
that basis?
That's awesome.
Like if you can't swim,
right, forget about it, right?
Forget about it.
Essentially, you guys are saving lives.
Yes.
Right.
I don't quite look at it that way, but yes.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, people drown every day.
Yeah, 10 people a day in this country drown.
Oh, wow. 10 people a day?
10 a day.
Who knew that?
10 a day.
10 people a day?
64% of people of color cannot swim.
Right.
And it's kind of...
Wait, what's the percentage of people of color?
64%
64% people of color.
Cannot swim.
Right.
So that's kind of like 1 of 3.
Right.
Roughly.
That's terrible, man.
Can swim.
Right. So tell me this, let's go back real quick. All right. So you've been teaching for, I know you only just say this. You've been teaching since you was 9 years old.
I didn't have a choice at
Okay, right. Mr.
You doing?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, man, Mr. Militant Thorpe.
Everybody knows he was worse with me because I was his kid.
Oh, I don't know, man. He got me pretty good too.
He did put your parents out.
Yeah. Oh, he put my parents out.
But he was my parents.
Yeah, right. Okay, got it. Oh, got you. Okay. And he threw me in there off top. He said, "You're gonna learn how to swim." Right. So let's go back. Tell me this. How did your father get into swimming? Like, who taught him, and who was the guy that taught Mr. Thorpe Sr.?
So it is told, I'm not sure, but it's told that my grandfather used to work on the pools in the Department of Parks and Recs in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Oh.
My father's father.
Right.
And my father would oftentimes follow him to work.
Okay.
Back in that time, Lynchburg, Virginia, there was only one pool that children of color could go to.
Oh.
So he used to take care of the pool there.
Okay.
And then my dad learned to swim at that pool.
Right.
And actually my dad was the first on paper registered lifeguard in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Wow.
He learned how to swim by watching the lifeguards who were white swim at that pool. Almost drowned 3 times. So then as he grew older, he became the only registered lifeguard at the pool in Lynchburg, Virginia. Fast forward, he moved to Baltimore. He started working in the Department of Parks and Recs.
Right.
And I think probably as he worked at that pool, he developed a love for working for our kids, our people, because that's all they could be at that pool.
Right.
And I think that's probably where it started.
Okay, got you. That is amazing.
Way down.
That's amazing. And then he bought this house.
And then
about
when he first it had
50 years ago.
That's good.
Had an above ground.
That's good.
He got rid of that. Built in the in-ground.
But he started teaching lessons in the above ground pool.
Okay, got you.
And it grew out of that.
Oh.
Because there were just so many people that class after class after class.
Right.
So he needed a bigger pool.
Right.
And above ground was not the technology at the time.
Right.
So he got an in-ground pool and started doing that. Started getting assistants and people that he had helped learn how to swim. He taught them and they started helping and it just began to grow. Because at that time, we didn't have anybody that was teaching people how to swim in 2 weeks.
Right. In 2 weeks. Now, what happens if they don't learn in 2 weeks?
Most people do.
Right.
But if they don't, you register, typically.
That hardly ever happens, though, I'm sure.
That hardly ever happens, but I have a personal thing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's nice that you paid.
Right.
And I need you to pay because it's my business.
Right.
But at the end of the day, your life is on the line.
Right.
And I am not going to be there when that happens.
Right.
So I got to make sure, aside from any business, that you learn how to swim, because this is something that could save your life.
Right.
It's serious. It's not about me taking your money and just sending you on your way. I know that most people who take lessons are going to go on a cruise, go on vacation, do something, go to Wild World, whatever it is, water park, and I'm not going to be there. Right. So if I haven't done my job, then between me and God, I take that very seriously. I take that very seriously. So you don't have to necessarily say, well, my kid didn't get it. I'm going to say to you,
right,
look, this is not going down the way I like it.
Right.
You need to think about doing it.
I love that. Tell me this, what's the youngest person that you guys have ever taught how to swim? And the oldest?
The youngest would be just over 3.
Just over 3?
Just over 3.
Okay.
Usually at that particular point, motor and coordinating skills and language can be an issue.
Right.
Just over 3.
Okay.
But yeah, some kids are pretty mature and tall. Just over 3. The oldest was 82.
Oh, 82?
82.
Jesus Christ.
82. And when I would come in, I always tell this. When I would come into class and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, she said, okay, that's fine, Mr. Hill. Now let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm old enough to be a grandma. So this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I'd be like, yes, ma'am.
Right. I love that, man. So I tell you what, it's still kind of freaking me out that I guess I'm now realizing how old I am, that I have not been here in 39 years.
And you go back.
I learned when I was 4, and now my son's 4, and he'll be starting this summer over here. Yeah.
I typically take them at 4 because at 4 they're usually tall enough.
Okay.
But
my boy loves the water, by the way.
At 4 they usually do.
Yeah.
But when you look at 50 years, like you go back to that first half of 50 years.
Okay.
And it was just learn to swim, and that's it.
Right.
June, July, August, that's it. Upon my dad passing, I realized that there's more to swimming. I knew that.
Right.
But I wanted to bring that to our family.
Right.
Our families, our community. There's more to swimming than just learn to swim.
Right.
There's swim teams.
Okay.
And certainly there are people who, once they learn how to swim, they want to go a little bit further.
Right.
I had a gentleman, hopefully he'll be back here for the Gayla Guile Smith. He swam against Michael Phelps.
Okay.
And at that time, when he learned to swim here, he went to the BCSC, which is Baltimore City Swim Club, because we didn't have a swim team.
Right.
And then he got, money to go to school.
Right.
McDonough Eagle swim team, money to go to school, and competed, against Michael Phelps.
Tell me this, do you have an accurate count of how many people you all have taught to swim? Because I want that email list for my events.
I don't. Like, I just...
Not an accurate ballpark, what's the estimate?
Ballpark. I just say over the summer, conservatively, I see 400 people. Conservative, I just say...
Every summer?
Every summer. And
it's been how many?
50.
50 summers.
Times 4 as well. 20,000.
20,000?
Like I guess. I don't know.
You all have emails?
Well, at the time in the 70s and stuff like that.
Oh, there was no email?
There was no email.
I keep forgetting what because I learned it.
Right, every year, 72, 73, 74, 75. He did it every summer. My dad was that too.
It just hit me. I learned in 85.
Right, so not until around 84. That time where people starting to get into the electronic age.
Right.
So all those from 70 to 80, that 11, 12, 13, 14 years, all that kind of stuff's kind of on paper.
So I tell you what, I want to get into the fundraiser, and where it is and what it's about, which I know it's at Martin's West.
March the 11th.
March the 11th? No.
Sunday, March the 11th.
Okay. But before then, no, it's in December. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's
December 11th.
Yeah, December 11th, yeah. See, I'm good. December 11th.
December 11th.
But before we get into that, I want to ask a few questions. My mother and my sister sent me some questions to ask you. So here we go. All right. What are the hours of operations for adults?
Adults usually come in the evening in the summertime.
Okay.
6:30 to 9:30 p.m.
Okay. You taught Miss Wade.
That is correct.
There you go.
Not long after my dad.
Did you teach Daryl as well? Or you went to school with Daryl?
I went to school with Daryl. So
okay.
Daryl would have learned through my father.
Okay. Where did y'all go to school at?
We went to Samuel Reddy.
Samuel who?
Samuel Reddy is the church school that's on the line of Baltimore City County on Route 40.
Okay.
It's a church now. But back in the day, it was a private parochial school, K to 12.
I'm sure Daryl was a terrible student.
Y'all taught me some things about life.
Oh, yeah. I love
I could never, ever discount that.
Right. I love Daryl. That's my brother. All right. What motivated you, or what's motivating you to continue your father's legacy?
My love for teaching swimming. I absolutely love it.
All right.
I absolutely love that. And I love to see people when they get it.
Right.
You can look in their eyes and see when they get it, but also the thanks that I get for what I have unlocked in their minds, giving them confidence. Because it's more than swimming. Because you have a lot of people who run from swimming because they are afraid. But once they have surmounted that, they're able to learn how to swim, that unlocks their level of confidence to attack other things in their lives that they've been running from.
Right.
Many people run from swimming for years.
Right. So once you kind of get over that hump, it can maybe help you out in life as well.
Yes, and I hear that. People say that.
Right.
It is a lot more than just swimming.
Yeah.
That's not why I do it, but it's a lot more, especially for those. And they are able to articulate that.
Right.
So I love that.
I love that. I love that.
And that it is a life-saving skill.
It's 11/11. That's confirmation. All right. Where do you see your business going at in 5 years?
In 5 years, I will be in an indoor facility.
Yes.
I am thinking, will I franchise it? I don't know about that.
Wow.
Because I have had it in my hands.
Which makes sure it's authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I will be able to give it away. But in 5 years, I certainly will be in an indoor facility, teaching lots of people how to swim, rehabilitating, and also just servicing the entire community, special needs as well, about health and wellness and how aquatics helps in that.
Right.
Because I just think there's a lack of knowledge.
I love that.
5 years, yes.
All right. How difficult?
Hosting a meet for children of color. I want to do that.
Well, that goes into my next question.
There's only 2 in the country right now.
Wow.
And I want to host the first for our adults.
That's amazing. That goes right into this next question. Great segue. How difficult is it for you as an African-American male in this industry?
I'm used to it.
Right.
But you can be in many spaces where you're ignored.
Right.
But I'm used to it.
Okay.
And so I'm not here for that. I'm here because of the greater good.
Right.
And I know what I bring to the table. I'm not insecure. So you can think or do whatever you want. But what you can't say is you've been doing it for 50 years. And in many cases, people can't say that. So I'm good.
All right.
You can look at me and think whatever you want. But 50 years, and I'm still here and still thriving, you can say what, but you can't knock that.
Can't knock it.
You can't knock it.
20,000 people.
You can't knock it.
Is it mostly African Americans?
I would say 99.5%.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see anybody but people of color. And I'm not saying I don't have other ethnicities. I do.
Right.
But I want to stand strong for our people to say, I'm here for you. This is what I'm going to do. Others can come, certainly. But I want our people to feel comfortable knowing that I understand where you come from and I'm going to work with you.
That's awesome.
I'm going to learn how to swim.
One thing that you want people to know about Mr. Therpe Swim Club?
I'm tough, but you'll learn to swim.
Facts. 2 weeks. Last question. When my son comes, can I stay or do I got to go too?
You got to go.
You got to go. Champagne.
You got to go.
I want to stay. That's my little buddy.
I know, right? I know.
That's difficult. I'll be honest with you. I will be honest with you. I don't know how my mother, every parent has to go.
Every parent has to go, and that's tough.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But there are times in life where the child has to do it on their own.
Right.
That's your job.
Right.
The greater picture is one day you're going to go be with the Lord.
Right.
Have you prepared your child for that? Or are you being a helicopter lawnmower like you're always going to be there? Because the truth of the matter is you're not. So the sooner the child realizes that and can handle that, the better they are. The sooner you have a grasp on that, that's how you parent them, and then they're able to handle life.
Mr. Therpe, there it is. You heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, it's more than swimming.
And a lot of people are like, well, you ain't got to say it like that, but it's the truth.
It's the truth. It is.
Are you preparing that child to handle things?
It's a life lesson.
It's a life lesson. They talk about critical reading, critical thinking skills. That's what it is. Or they want to always ask you, well, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
That's not life. And as an African-American male, if that's what you do, that's weakness.
Right. You heard it. Mr. Thorpe Jr. Oh, no, what does he say? The second.
The second.
The second.
But
we're going to take a walk and talk about the fundraiser. How's that?
Well, sounds good.
Oh, my man. Appreciate you, brother.
It's been... I just let it do its thing. But my father...
This says Thorpe Sr. all over.
You're correct. Your energy is on point.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you the truth. Again, no one has ever asked me.
Right.
No one. And he's always here.
Right.
Always here.
It's amazing.
Since my dad. And you hit that. Your energy is...
Right.
Every year, I will eat one of the grapes off.
Legacy.
That is right.
Remember that. Legacy. That's why we're here.
That's correct. That is correct. Wow. You get away with that one.
Yeah. And
you caught me off guard with that one, sir. Wow. Wow.
Energy.
Wow, sir.
He's in the building.
Wow.
Thank you for these.
Yes. So, every year I do a t-shirt. I do the artwork for it. At one point in my life, I did do graphic design. But the scripture on the back talks about belief. Because in a couple ways, some people would never believe that I was able to continue to do it.
Right. You have any brothers or sisters?
I do.
Are they involved?
My daughter is involved.
Okay.
But none of them, I mean, my sister helps some, but none of them teach swimming.
Right.
You can help in other ways, but the biggest way is get to a tailor.
So then you really have a real responsibility. Because your other brothers and sisters aren't.
Not as active.
Active, right.
And I'm one of the younger ones, so yes. My daughter helps me a lot. She has it, but she's still young.
Right.
But my daughter has it. I have a son, but he's not active at it at this particular point. But not everybody gets that gifting. And I have to say, teaching swimming is a gift.
Right.
It's a gift. And I don't mind giving it. I enjoy it.
So what is it that you all do that puts the stamp on Mr. Thorpe Swim Club that everybody else doesn't do, that gets people able to swim in 2 weeks? I mean, do you all have a special tactic? Like, what is like...
It's magic water.
Yeah, right. Like, what it's like...
It's magic water. No, I'll tell you what it is. When they come here, you're not going to get away saying, I don't want to do it. I'm going to make you do it.
Right.
I'm going to make you do it. And that's the difference. Right? You're not going to be allowed to say, I don't want to do this.
Right.
That's it. Just make them do it. And that could mean crying. That could mean a whole lot of things.
How many kids per class?
It depends on how hard I'm working. I have a staff of like 8 or 9 of us. So I've had classes of over 50 kids before. In this pool, there's a methodology to how you do it.
Right.
Kids. And in some classes are 10. It depends on the ages of the kids as to how many you can do. Because everybody doesn't learn the same way.
Okay.
And you have to approach them that way. Older kids learn differently than younger kids. So certainly you have more older kids as opposed to young kids. Young kids need more attention. So I can't pile them in like that. Adults, similarly. But I think the most adults I've ever had was maybe a class of like 30. Adults just require more space.
Right.
And especially going through the pandemic, people are more aware of how close you are to them.
Exactly.
Whereas before, everybody's close. But now you're like,
right. Back up. Wait for me. Right. Don't sneeze on me.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, I would say in this pool, 30. But I mean, I could do more. So that's another reason why I need a bigger pool, because the process is kind of the same. But still, I give each of the students individual attention.
Gotcha.
Know their name, know a little bit about them. And it makes it easy to teach them when you know something about them.
Exactly.
When you look like them. And then you venture to know them, know their name. And when they're here 10 days, you pick up different things about people.
Right. That's true. And that's why we're going to raise funds to make sure we get the indoor facility for Mr. Thorpe swim class.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Let's go talk about that out front. my Christmas party, I always tell people, because people come and say, Dave, how do you? I said, it's not about me. It's not about me. People, they know I'm just being used as a vessel to bring everybody together. Right? They know that, if we go to Dave's Christmas party, I'm going to see this person. I'm going to see that person. I'm going to see this person I haven't seen in 20 years. So I'm just coordinating to make sure everybody can get that love. And I'm also hosting. I'm on the mic, having a good time. Oh, yeah, I turn the party up. Yeah, it goes.
Got to be there.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised at how many people.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I tell you what. We can even bring you up on stage. Like, hey, look, this is Mr. Thorpe. Yeah, man.
I certainly should be there.
What you all done has been just legendary, man.
Wow.
You are just, it's amazing, man.
You know what?
That's why I could not, when Nicole called me, I said, look, I'm very busy. I said, but I can't pass up a chance like this. I said, because for me, just when I pulled around on the street, I just wanted to, I can remember where this house was. So I knew that when I just pulled on the street, something was going to happen.
And look.
I said, I just want to just feel the energy coming back around here. Yeah. And I texted my mother, I said, Ma, how old was I? She said, you were 4. I said, oh my God. I said, it's crazy. Yeah.
4 years old.
4 years old.
So how did you feel when you went back there?
I felt really good, man. The energy, it just brought, some things you do, it brings you back when you was a child.
Yes.
And it just reminded me of, Mr. Thorpe just saying, look, get in there, get your butt in there. And I remember I came out, I told my mother, I said, Ma, I don't want to go back. And my mother said, Dave, you have to go back. I said, I don't want to go back there. And I just always remember the cars going past, the noise. Yes. And then I had the early class, so it was cold, man.
Yeah, all right. Not my fault, but
that morning was cold. I mean, for real. It was like torture. I was like, but you hit it on the nose. When I jumped in the water at the 2-week mark and swam, it was like something happened. It was like, not that I became a man, but I overcame something. So that was powerful.
You did it at the time when all the parents and stuff like that were here. They had food and all that kind of stuff.
We had food, drink,
it was like a party.
It was a party.
It was like a party.
And they all came, and I remember I had to wait till my turn, and then I think it was 2 of us at a time.
Okay.
And I jumped in, I swam from one side to the other, and everybody clapped. And it was
did something for you.
It did something for me.
So look at the connection of that to what you do now.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing, man. So what are we really here for? We are here to make sure that we raise funds for Mr. Thorpe's indoor facility.
That's correct.
Coming soon, prayerfully.
That's correct.
He has a gala coming up. So you want to tell us about that gala?
Yes, the gala. I'm going to get the date right this time.
Yeah. March.
The gala will be on December the 11th.
December 11th.
That's correct. At Martin's West at 5 p.m. And the idea is actually twofold.
Okay.
One is to celebrate my dad because he started this legacy, right, when no one else was doing it. And certainly everybody else was used to going to somebody that did not look like him to learn how to swim, or there weren't any venues at all.
Okay.
So certainly to celebrate that, and that is still going, but also then to raise money for an indoor facility, because at this particular point, I've outgrown the backyard.
Okay.
I get people all the time that call and ask for lessons at this time of year.
Right.
But
in the fall and the winter.
Right, in the fall and the winter. And I want to be able to continue to do that, because swimming is not just for the summertime.
Right.
It's for any time. People go on vacation anytime. So I need to be able to continue. Right. So I need to be able to continue to do that.
Okay.
Because it does save lives. It enables people to do things that they've always wanted to do. Like when you go on vacation and you want to go snorkeling or whatever, swimming is the foundation of that.
Right.
And so I want to be able to continue to do that. I want to be able to offer competitive swimming in my own venue, because when you go to somebody else's backyard, you rent their pools.
Their rules.
Their rules, right?
And you got your rules.
My rules for the kids, but also for the adults. And I have an adult team, and I want to have something in particular for African-American adults.
Okay.
I think it's just really interesting for my adults to say, I'm on an adult swim team.
Right.
And people are like, a swim team? You know black people can't swim.
Right.
And I'm like, no, we're on a swim team. And they're all adults who swim. And I want to have some sort of competition, some sort of swim meet.
I like that. I might join myself.
And particularly not just to be exclusive, but I want our people to feel comfortable, because when we go to the National Black Heritage Championship Swim Meet, which is in North Carolina, it's run
not totally different, but you can see the ethnic touches.
Exactly.
And that makes our kids actually perform better.
Okay.
When they see all of the referees look like them, when they play music, it just does something for our kids.
Yeah.
And so I want to have a compound, a facility, a health and wellness center that you feel comfortable going to.
Okay.
And you know that you will be noticed
If
there.
someone wants to just donate, how can they do that?
Right, so on my website, 4mswim.org, have a button there you can go and you can just donate.
Okay.
Certainly also with the one where you can buy tickets, you can just donate whatever amount you want, because any and every amount is needed.
And if someone sees you, can they give you cash?
Yes, I'll take it.
All right, well, guess what? I'm going to be the first to donate.
Oh, my goodness.
I see notes.
Oh,
and it's
my
real,
goodness.
yes.
Yes, it is.
My
Thank
brother.
you, Mr. Cowser.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
My brother.
Thank you.
My man.
Thank you.
Hey,
you.
man.
Thank you.
So much respect. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
allowing me in your house.
Thank you.
Want to donate that to the kids, to the facility.
Thank you.
I'm going to do everything in my power
I know
to
you
make
are.
sure that you get your space.
Thank you. I'm
All
going
right.
to have it.
God
and
bless,
then
brother.
when I dedicate it,
Yeah.